What does Iran have in common with Venezuela? Oil. A lot of it. You see, Nicolás Maduro wasn't the first leader ousted by the US over oil. Shortly after the US abducted the Venezuelan president, the Trump administration invited oil company CEOs to a meeting at the White House.
We're going to be making the decision as to which oil companies are going to go in, that we're going to allow to go in.
The US has worked closely with oil companies to control another country's oil industry before. Look no further than the oil giant BP, or British Petroleum, which originated out of an earlier attempt by the US to do just that. See, BP was originally called the Anglo-Iranian Oil Company. I think you can guess where this is going. Back in the early 1950s, the Anglo-Iranian Oil Company, or AIOC, controlled literally all of the country's oil reserves. And the UK government, by the way, had a 51% stake in the company at the time. Up until this point, Iran's government had largely cooperated with British business interests in the country. But in 1951, Iran entered talks with the British government, pushing for a better deal. One demand included sharing oil profits 50-50. After the UK refused to compromise, Iran passed an oil nationalization bill. Democratically elected Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh remained steadfast in his support for nationalization. As a result, in only a few months, the British were plotting to oust him and potentially invade Iran. In January 1953, as tensions with Britain escalated, Mossadegh told the US that he was considering seeking aid from the Soviet Union. In response, President Eisenhower greenlit a covert coup d'etat known as Operation Ajax, one of the first covert CIA actions against a foreign government. The CIA convinced the Shah, a monarch whose role had been largely ceremonial like those in Great Britain, to help depose Mossadegh. After Mossadegh was captured in August of 1953, the Shah was installed as the leader of Iran. The Shah then cut a deal with a group of American and European oil companies for access to the country's oil. The AIOC, now known as British Petroleum, would have the largest stake, 40%. But after the 1979 revolution deposed the Shah, these companies lost access to Iran's oil and the third largest oil reserves in the world. So the US incentive to oust Iran's revolutionary leaders has been clear for decades. And with the Trump administration emboldened by its actions in Venezuela, it's clear where it has its eyes set on next.
The president has shown he's unafraid to use military options if and when he deems necessary, and nobody knows that better than Iran.